Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch, welcome back to another episode here on the Bodybuilding News Network. We should be going live in just a second. It looks like we are live now. You can see it. So, welcome for everyone who's just tuning in. We are going to do another one today. We had a pretty fun live stream yesterday. We talked about a lot of great topics, but there was some stuff that I didn't get to talk about yesterday, and I wanted to talk about it real quick. Xavier Willis, I didn't see that check from yesterday, so you'll have to let me you'll have to let me know which routing number you used for all that positive publicity I sent your way, my brother. But like I said, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And now I want to just jump right into it. There was a lot of topics, like I said, that I didn't talk about yesterday, and I wanted to make sure I covered before I take. Typically I take a longer week to get this content out as we slowly start to ramp things up. I have all the tabs ready to rock and roll, so let's go ahead and jump into another episode here. And I will share the screen. I think if I share it like this, it should work. I don't know. I'll sort it out, Xavier. Sounds good, man. And we'll test out the audio on sharing the screen as well. I don't know if that's going to work today or not, but we'll give it a try. We will give it a try. So let's go ahead and start off with, I would say, a very interesting topic from this weekend, and hopefully you guys can see this nice zoomed in shot here of Dietrich Bo Lewis, a 212 Olympia competitor, did the Chicago Pro yesterday, and he placed second. He did not win the show, but what turned out to be a very interesting turn of events was that people had him in first. And when I say people, I mean the IFBB Pro League was announcing that he was in first place. And I'll see if I can find from Dan over at Bodybuilders Without Borders. He posted a conversation about this. And the confusion was that the scorecard came out and it wasn't correct. You can see here that Franklin Marcedo, Marcado, Frankie Marcado ended up winning the show, Bo being in second. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is not what perspired originally. This is what was announced. It was that Bo won and that Frankie placed second. This is from the show. This is from the Pro League saying that Bo wins. And then you can see the original scorecard here. Actually, no, this has Samuel. So this is the classic physique. But you could see there that they didn't have him in second. He had him in first. And what I thought was very interesting, hopefully you guys can see the zooming in I'm doing. It looks like you can. The interesting part that I've never heard of is that finals is only judged when get this, when the pro league thinks it needs to be judged. It only counts if the manions and the powers that be find it beneficial to them, or maybe the athlete or whoever they want to win, to to count the finals. Isn't that so strange, right? Very interesting verbiage here. They use it as a confirmation round, but they're never going to tell you when that finals actually counts for anything but men's open bodybuilding unless it benefits them or they have to cover their tracks like they did with this botchery. Clearly, they had Bo winning, and then they accidentally gave a different guy the first place. Now, what I want to do now that I've kind of poisoned the pool for you and given you an idea of like I think there was some very weird stuff going on, is I want to look at Bo Lewis posing, and then I want to look at Frankie posing, and I want us to be able to judge. I want us to be able to give the world our opinion as bodybuilding fans, bodybuilding enthusiasts, for some of us, bodybuilding journalists. Now, I will say that Bo has a great balance. He has a great flow to his physique. There's he's one of these guys that doesn't have anything that really stands out. Everything really flows well. Insert, posing trunk joke for all of you. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just watch his content, or just watch that transition, good lord. Um, but the legs, I would say, are the only thing on Bo that might need to be brought up and improve with this new era of competitors. If he wants to be competitive, if he wants to get back on the Olympia stage, Bo, I love you, you know that. He might need to improve the thickness of the legs. He is a full-time bodybuilder. This is what he does as a profession. He does some training as well. So there is some room for improving now that we've gotten a good idea of seeing what he looks like with Guile doing the phenomenal photography here. Let's see if we can find. Actually, I think Dan had Frankie's posing routine on his page, so we can actually get a good look here. And this is the Frankie Marciato, I do believe his name was. Apologies if I messed it up again. And thanks for everybody watching so far. Looks like the lighting is atrocious on the live stream, but in post production doesn't look too bad. But this is what he looks like. I think he looks pretty solid. He looks a little bit more dense than Bo, and I'd say that the legs are a little bit more improved. So I'm not mad with him getting the win. He looks very conditioned. Looks great. And there's nothing really wrong with this physique. I think this definitely is a physique that could belong on the Olympia stage. But that's just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Please let me know your thoughts on the results for the 2025 212 Chicago Pro and this gentleman, Mr. Frankie Marciato, winning and qualifying for the Olympia in a very strange set of circumstances. The outcome is strange. And this kind of unfortunately dampers the trust that we have in the Manions and the Pro League and promoters and judges because we had the botchery at the China Pro where they clearly robbed people, including some of the women's divisions, and changed things up to make the Chinese competitors win and qualify. You have the Dubai Pro where Tonio never got that side by side comparison to the gentleman who won, to Beirut Tabani. And I think that that was a robbery as well. I think Tonio could have really pushed him on the separation and the bubbliness. And then you also have Nathan Diasha consistently being robbed this year after winning shows last year, now really getting, in short, getting the shaft. And the lighting doesn't look too atrocious. So I hope it does turn out pretty good in the post production. But let me know your thoughts on that one in the comment sections down below. Next up, we have Theo Laguerriere sharing some physique updates, as I do not believe he is qualified yet for the 2025 Mr. Olympia. And he was in last place last year. He placed the worst, one spot below, I believe, Justin Shire, who we will talk about in just a second. And I think Justin hopefully will make the improvements. But when we look at Theo, I would say this is exactly what I expect from Theo Laguerriere from France. Very nice, pleasing physique, small midsection, nothing really blown out, but also no clear parts of him that I love. It's just a very balanced, a very pretty physique. His posing is always nice, but in his current state right now, he's definitely many weeks out from a pro show, and we are running out of time. We're around 12 weeks out from the Olympia, and I believe the qualifications cut off around 6 or 8 weeks out. I'd have to check to see which one is the last qualifying show, and then things start rolling over into the 2026 Olympia qualification. So let me know your thoughts on Theo Laguerriere. Do you know if he's doing any shows anytime soon? We could scavenge the comment sections and see if there's anything, but it is a lot of French comments. So kind of tough to tell. So let me know your thoughts down below on Theo and whether or not you think he's going to get a 2025 Mr. Olympia qualification. Moving right along, something I wanted to talk about the other day is this freaky footage from Nicholas Walker, aka Nick Walker, 12 weeks out, 11-ish weeks out from the Mr. Olympia, looking nutty coming into this Olympia prep, already qualified New York Pro win and a robbery at the Pittsburgh Pro to a much softer Derek Lunsford. But we will see how that unfolds at the Olympia in just a few weeks. Well, over 10 weeks out from now. But we will see exactly what Derek has in store for us and what Nick Walker has to say about maybe Pittsburgh being a one-off and potentially a overlooking of what Nick should have deserved, in my opinion. And I'm sure Nick would agree with me here. But with the haircut is what I really want to talk about outside of the freakiness. He's been bald for a couple weeks now. I always liked him having the Jay Cutler-esque hair because it gave that homage to Jay Cutler when he was coming up. They both were freaks. They were both mass monsters, but they both were able to find some way to keep the midsection tight, to keep it controlled. And that's been a huge critique of Nick Walker previously, but I think that issue is no longer gone, or is no longer here. He's not the fridge anymore. The midsection is relatively tight for how massive he is. Obviously, he can't there was a classic guy back in the day who took off a couple years, didn't do any bodybuilding, and just shrunk the midsection and did, like, rapping and stuff. We don't expect that from Nick Walker. We expect him to continue to compete, continue to win pro shows, hopefully compete at the Arnold Classic, and, continue to make money there. Now, if we continue to see that, I would be happy. I'd be super stoked to see him do that. But very exciting physique update from him. I love to see it. Dylan's here. Welcome back, Dylan. Looks like I got the same crew from last night. So fun to see you guys here and having a conversation with me here. But that's kind of it for Nick Walker. Pretty excited to see more of his content on YouTube. He's been doing some podcasting lately, and I've been thoroughly enjoying the conversations that they've been having. Next up, Justin Shire. We did talk about him. We did say he was going to have a physique update here, and actually, Dylan corrected me last night on the other live stream. Was that Justin deserved to be in the last call up because he was only 220 pounds and on the stage at the Olympia. So these open guys should be a lot bigger than 220. So if he really did show up that small, I understand why he got knocked down. I did review the footage and we could even do it real quick, see if we could find his Olympia footage. But one of my favorite physiques coming into this Olympia, and hopefully I think we're going to see him in Tampa in just 2 weeks. Definitely between him and Quentin Beastwood. I don't remember if I heard John De La Rosa was maybe doing this show. So you're gonna have a lot of great guys coming into this show for the Tampa Pro, and it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one for him to come out on top, but I do think he has the shape. I think he has the structure, and, ladies and gentlemen, let me know down below if I'm way off here, but, um, if he improves his back, if Justin Shire continues to make the improvements, he's already got an Olympia caliber front, but the back needs to improve, or maybe and we don't need to say but, we can say and his back needs to continue to improve. If he does that, I know I had him, I think, in the top 10 last year. I was way off, but I also had Brandon Curry at ninth perfectly, and he did place ninth. So my predictions weren't too horrific. Comment section's always getting interesting. But let me know your thoughts on Justin Shire down below. 2 weeks out from the Tampa Pro, clearly, or at least in my opinion, the favorite to clinch one of the remaining Olympia qualifications. Next up, we have a good friend of ours, classic physique phenom, Justin Bodarina, claiming the early Olympia qualification last year and getting ready for this year's Mr. Olympia in the classic physique division with some names out of the top 10, like Chris Bumstead specifically. You're going to be able to have an opportunity for him to move up in placings. We thought we weren't going to have people like Breon Ainsley, but he has announced that he's going to be returning to the classic physique division. So there's still going to be some competition in classic physique, but Justin brings amazing flow, amazing shape. I know he himself has said his biggest critique is building up the back, and from the footage I've been watching on his YouTube channel, critically underviewed. So make sure you guys check out Justin Bodarina on YouTube. He records and posts some phenomenal training content, and really sharing some deep philosophical insights on training, methodologies, and how to get the best bang for your buck when you're in the gym trying to make some improvements to your own physique. So whether or not you're a competitive bodybuilder or a fitness enthusiast, I think that Justin Bodarina's YouTube channel could definitely benefit you. So shameless plug. I know it sounded cringy, but I do love the guy to death, and I'm really happy for him. I'm happy for his wife, and I'm happy for his continued success in the Olympia. So best of luck, Justin. And this is where I was going to talk about the Chicago fiasco. And that is about it, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to make it quick. I wanted to make it um, simple. And I wanted to really just kind of hammer out a couple topics that I missed yesterday. So I do hope you enjoyed a good 16 minutes here. We will figure out the lighting, or maybe I just won't wear a black hoodie next time I record. That might help out a little bit. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I really do appreciate you guys all hopping in here. Uh, Xavier, Dylan from Project Bodybuilding, I do appreciate you stopping in here. Um, Yes, Justin is a little too small. I'm not going to argue that one. The back does continue to improve, and I know Justin is aware of that feedback from his coach. So, yeah, yeah, good feedback. Xavier, Dylan, thank you for stopping by and checking out another episode, another live stream here. We're going to continue to do the live streams. I think this is kind of fun. I get to interact with you guys, and I still get to reuse the content. I get to make the shorts. I get to make the stuff that engages. And we're averaging over 1,000 views right now on the shorts with this very quick comeback we have here on BNN. So, as always, thank you everyone for stopping in, checking out this video. Make sure you guys watch the recap, check out the shorts, and comment. Let me know what stories you want me to talk about next here on the Bodybuilding News Network. Look forward to Monday Muscle coming back and our special show, Flex Talk, where we talk with bodybuilding journalists, competitors, promoters, and business owners in the bodybuilding sphere. I'm your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network, Josh Sanch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.